How's it going today? It's time to look at Chainsaw Man chapter 78 titled Snowball Fight. Before we jump into this week's chapter, I just want to say thanks for the kind words and great reactions to the last week's chapter. I had some great comments about the story and just the video in general, so keep it up. And with that, of course I have to tell you to like the video, subscribe, and leave another comment down below about what the heck is going on with the story right now. But with no further ado, let's jump into this week's chapter. So, beginning of this week's chapter, chapter 78 of Chainsaw Man, we see just like still figures of Denji and Power in a little snowy countryside. And we see young child Aki is like, oh, great, you're here. And he starts to throw snowballs at them. Seeing what happened in last week's chapter, this is Aki's internal self, I guess. And this is what he sees when he's shooting at Denji and Power. Going on to the next page, that's exactly what's happening, where in last week's chapter, Denji was protecting Power. Now they both get flown apart as Aki is continuously shooting at them. And it's pretty terrible because in the real world, we see the gun fiend look at two civilians who were just in the street when this fight started, and Kid Aki, and in Aki's mind, he's a kid, and he's like, oh, do you want to play too? And we see the gun fiend raise his arm at them and try to shoot. Denji sees this, and as he should, he starts freaking out because he knows that it looks like Aki is about to shoot them. And can I just say, Fujimoto, and whoever his team is, they really do know how to make pain and disgust. They really know how to draw it, because this woman, she looks terrified, and it's amazing. It's amazing art. But back with the actual story, we see just obliteration of the street of where the freaking two people was standing, and the gun fiend is just smiling like a fucking maniac. He looks like he's just getting off on this, and it sucks because we know this is Aki. This is actually Aki on the inside. And then, of course, Denji has to charge in straight towards the gun fiend and try to attack him. And we're just gonna. I guess this is gonna be the main part of this the story this week, is that we jump back to young Aki, and we see Denji is smiling, having fun, throwing snowballs back. So Aki really just thinks that he's having a snowball fight with his friends. Denji is fighting back. The games can finally begin. Just complete destruction, just going through the city. Cars getting overturned, houses just get destroyed, as freaking the gun fiend runs around and just tries to kill people, because he thinks he's playing a friendly game, a friendly snowball fight with bullets. He's playing a friendly snowball fight with bullets. Fucking dark as hell. With another attack, Denji is able to actually block it. I don't know if he doesn't look like he got shot, so I'm guessing he's actually reflecting some of the bullets with his chainsaw blades, which is a pretty nice ability for Denji to have. Just seeing this is we're seeing the level of what Denji can do. Each fight he is getting stronger, even though it almost doesn't seem like it. He's not getting new forms. He's not getting a crazy amount of aura around his body like some other shonen manga series. But he's starting to actually understand how to properly fight. Making me recall to last week's chapter when Makima was talking to Denji, and she basically said, in this next fight, don't think at all. Just fucking use Ultra Instinct, basically, and react. Don't think, just fight and react. Because he's gonna need that to win. Then Denji seemingly protected her, the woman who was about to get shot, but as she's running away, Aki fires another snowball, and it's insane because even though he's aiming for one person, the bullets are ripping through entire houses. So even though he's aiming at one person, 5, 10 people, dozen people could get shot down or damaged by the rubble and the car is being flown into the air. Denji finally like gets up to him and calls him a fucking idiot, a dumbass, as we see the chainsaw man and the gun fiend fighting. And it's kind of like, it's cool because this is a nice fight. This is actually like a chapter with a continuous fight, which we don't get many of them with Denji at least, which is fine for the series. But at the same time, I wish it wasn't against Aki, oh man. But yeah, Denji runs up against the gun fiend and has chainsaws out of his arms and one of his legs as civilians just on look, and just they keep fighting, and Denji is actually, he's doing something that I almost don't suspect. I almost wouldn't expect Denji to do. He's calling out Aki's name, like, Aki Hayakawa, can you hear me? Like, are you fucking listening? Aki's just smiling away, thinking he has a great fun time with his best friend Denji. And Denji just continuing like, if Aki could see what he's doing, he would hate it the most. He would throw up if he knew he was killing these people like he is. Next we get a nice double page of just Aki throwing snowballs and a gun going off, throwing snowballs and the gun going off, seeing Denji's chainsaw, and Kid Aki is just elated that he's playing with somebody. And he even says that he's so happy because his mom and dad only ever look after his younger brother, Tayo. I don't know how to pronounce his name, sadly. Remember back in like the first few chapters of the story, when Aki's family died, it was right after he went outside and had a snowball fight with his younger brother. And that was a big deal for him because his younger brother was, I believe, sick for like a long time when he was born. So his parents put more time and effort into protecting the younger brother than, like, you know, having a good relationship with Aki. But Aki is talking to himself, basically. Talking to its inner self. Is like he finally understands about life and happiness as he throws another snowball at Denji. And we see the snowball actually hit Denji. As we go to the real world again, and we see that Denji has been shot, fucking blood all around him, and it looks like some guts are spilling out. As the Kid Aki looks at his real world in his mind and sees a kid Denji laying down in the snow. And that's the end of chapter 78. Now, this one is another short video because I honestly don't know what to say. What do I say? Aki is the gun fiend. Cool, great, I hate my life. Please, someone fix this. Denji's getting fucked up because how on earth is anyone gonna actually stop the gun devil? Especially if he's in the fiend form. And he's a fiend now. So, when he was fighting Makima, he had a 12-second window to kill Makima. He's a gun fiend. Until you kill him, he's not going to stop. This is the worst case scenario for our protagonist. And then there's the whole fact that, remembering Fujimoto's past series and being Fire Punch, is the manga gonna end soon? Hopefully not. Hopefully we have a good few more chapters. I know some people believe, like, okay, we can get past this part. Denji, of course, Denji's future devil told him he was going to die at the hands of Denji. So, of course, Denji's going to have to kill him. But is that going to happen in the next 2 chapters, around chapter 80? And if so, is that going to be like the end of the story? Because now that I'm looking back at it, Chainsaw Man started off with Denji being a little kid, homeless kid who literally would eat cigarettes off the ground for a few extra change just so he could scrape by. And now it's like almost the past few arcs have spent more time dealing with Aki than Denji, which is I'm fine with, but it's making me think, if Aki dies, is that the end of the story? Instead of like the main protagonist being Denji, and if like, oh, Denji dies, the story ends. What if Aki dies and the story ends, and that's the story of Chainsaw Man? I don't know. All I know is that this was a great chapter, like all the chapters. I can't even say that anymore. Like, what do I expect? The next time you hear me say something about the chapter being good or bad, it's gonna be when the chapter starts being bad, which it hasn't been for the past 78 chapters. So yeah, I don't know what else to say. Thanks for watching. Make sure to leave a like down below. Comment what you think about this. Where is this going? This was a really action-filled chapter. Just fighting back and forth, which you don't get a lot of in Chainsaw Man. So I liked it, but I'm just not used to it. So this video is gonna be a little shorter. I'm literally just drawing it out right now. Make sure to check me out over at Twitch at twitch.tv/ATWin19. Streaming Ghost of Tsushima. But yeah, besides that, I have nothing else to say. Thanks for watching. Peace.